There we are. Welcome to another amazing and fabulous episode of the Killer Author Club. Tonight's guest is the one and only Tori Eldridge. Tonight we will be talking about her newest release, The Ninja's Oath, book 4 in the series of modern day ninja Lily Wong. We have tons to talk about, so grab your cocktail, your list of questions for Tori, and sit tight. We will see you in just a second.
Thought you really loved me, guess I was wrong. Thought you'd never leave me, guess I was dumb. Waited like forever to be your plus one, but I guess you were done.
Hello again. I am Killer Kimberly Bell, along with founding member Kara Ruda. Our third founding member, Heather Gudenkopf, isn't with us tonight, but she's off having a marvelous travel adventure. So we will give her a pass and hear all about it next time. We are so excited to welcome Tori to the clubhouse. The Killers and I started the Killer Author Club so that readers like you can interact with some of the best suspense and thriller authors in the business. Killers like Tori, of course, and Patricia Cornwell. Yes, the Patricia Cornwell, coming on November 13th. Special day, special time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Our winter spring lineup, we just posted to all of our socials, so make sure to check that out. It includes some fantastic names like Frida McFadden, Nita Prose, B.A. Paris, Lisa Gardner, and so many more killer authors you do not want to miss. So make sure to check that out. Dates, times, upcoming shows can all be found on killerauthorclub.com. But tonight we are here with Killer Tori to talk about killing of the fictional kind, of course. Make sure to drop your questions in the comments, and we will do our best to comb through them and choose to ask our killer guest. If you're watching this on Facebook or have a Facebook account, make sure to check out our public group, Killer Author Club, or for our really hardcore killers, our private members-only group called the Killer Author Clubhouse, where we pick a winner each episode. Join for your chance to win some swag. We also have a YouTube channel where you can stream us to your big flat screen TV on the wall, and you can find us all wasting entirely too much time on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. We are on it. For links to everything, watch the comments or check out our Killer Author Club website, killerauthorclub.com. So now, without further ado, Kara, would you please introduce our killer guest?
It is my honor. Tori Eldridge is the best-selling author of The Ninja's Oath, Book 4 of the Lily Wong thriller series, twice nominated for the Anthony Award Lefty and McCavity Award finalist, and the 2021 Crimson Scribe winner for Best Book of the Year. Awesome. Her dark fantasy thriller, Dance Among the Flames, was inspired by her screenplay, The Gift, that earned a semifinalist nod from the Academy Nicole Fellowship. Tori's shorter work appears in numerous anthologies, including Crime Hits Home and Weird Tales magazine. Tori has performed on Broadway, television, and film. You guys should get to our website and read all about it. It's crazy. And earned a 5th degree black belt in Toshin-Do. I hope I'm saying that right. Is that right? Okay, great. Ninja martial arts. And learn more at her website. And you guys should go there because she has a fascinating background. Anyway, okay. So Tori, welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Thanks.
Let's dive into The Ninja's Oath. Can you give us a quick elevator pitch of what the story is about?
Oh, okay. Elevator pitch. So short, right? Okay. All right. Here we go. Chinese-Norwegian modern-day ninja Lily Wong travels to Shanghai on a joint mission with her father's Shanghainese cook and former triad enforcer and a sexy assassin, while back home, her father's health wanes.
Nice job. That's not easy to do.
That is super hard to do.
So hard to do. So thank you. That was very well done. All right. So we'll get right back to Lily in a minute. But first, Kimberly, will you introduce the killer cocktail?
Yes. So, Tori, you have chosen, let me see, the Kunoichi Bramble. Did I say that right?
The Kunoichi Bramble.
Kunoichi Bramble. Can you tell us a little bit about this cocktail and why you chose it? It's gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So this was created for me by my amateur mixologist son, Tori Eldridge, and he worked in Shanghai for 6 years. And that's how I got to go to Shanghai, was visiting him and his then fiance, now wife, from Hong Kong, of all places. And anyway, so I asked him to create this, and I said, think of Shanghai. And so it has yuzu, which is kind of a citrusy and a Japanese citrus fruit, right? So it has yuzu in there, and it has a lavender essence in the gin, and it has fresh blackberries in there. It's really delicious. Of course, I don't drink alcohol, so mine is a mocktail, and it just has naked blueberry juice and La Croix guava seltzer and some wild blueberries because I didn't have blackberries, and a squeeze of Meyer lemon.
So pretty.
So pretty. Well, cheers.
Yeah,
Well,
cheers.
cheers, everybody. Kara, what are you drinking? Are you
Chardonnay. Like always, drinking Chardonnay is really pathetic. Someday, I mean, I don't have all that stuff, but it's really pretty. Like all the ingredients. How about you, Kimberly?
I'm drinking just like water, bubbly
Water.
flavored water. Because I have to be sober because I'm taking over Heather's job of the graphics tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
Complicated.
It's really complicated, and I'm doing all the chat on the side by myself, so we're just all a fluster over here. So
We miss you, Heather.
Heather, come back. Okay, but we're gonna soldier on, whatever. Okay, you say Shanghai, not Shanghai.
Shanghai, yeah, exactly.
So
that's how my son said it when he was there, and so that's how I started to say it. And it's interesting because, as I mentioned before, my daughter-in-law is from Hong Kong, purely coincidental because Lily's mother is also from Hong Kong, and so and then my mother was my background, my ancestors came from Canton, which is in Guangdong province. So, all these different things. And then don't get me started. If I start talking about Hawaii, then I start pronouncing things all manner of ways. So,
right. And we're all just, I thought it was Shanghai, Hawaii, but it's just not. Okay. Anyway, right,
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, I mean, it is, but it sounds
perfectly
better
valid.
It sounds so much better when you say it. Okay. All right. You guys, it is time for us to talk about the book some more. So the Ninja's Oath is the much anticipated fourth book in the Tori's Lily Wong series about a modern day Chinese-Norwegian female ninja. Crime Read says Lily Wong is one of the greatest heroines of the 21st century. That's just a little compliment. Publishers Weekly says action-packed, Eldridge excels at orchestrating thrilling martial arts fights and at brisk plotting. Everything here suggests the series can sustain a long run. So nice. All right. And the New York Times bestselling author Tosca Lee says, one word, badass. Lily Wong is as tough as she is smart and will go to the ends of the earth to put bad guys in their place. I love this heroine. I love Eldridge's stories, and I love the Ninja's Oath. Tense, evocative, with beautifully choreographed fight scenes that only a trained dancer and martial artist like Eldridge could write. The Ninja's Oath is as action-packed as it is thrilling. Wow. Okay. So now, Tori, we need you to know your answer to the killer question, how do you kill?
How do I kill? With ninjanuity and skill. And if I'm writing about Lily, then I probably have her favorite signature karambit. Because as I mentioned, she is a modern day ninja. So while many ninja use things like shuriken and straight ninja toe swords, which are kind of like a katana only without the arc, and of course swords, those are my spears, those are my favorite. All the long weapons were my favorite, the spears, the staff, and everything. But Lily can't just carry those things around, right? And and a shuriken is not really legal. But oddly enough, this karambit, it has a small enough blade, so it can be legal in most states. And so this is her go-to weapon, Now, I should mention that she is a protector and rescuer of women and children. So she is not an assassin. This is not like the ninja that most people know about, right? So, but because of the things that she gets into, there's a body count.
She needs to protect everyone. Yes.
She does her best, but there is a body count.
Yeah. Okay. So do you know when you got the idea for the series or when this character came to your mind? Can you pinpoint that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was working on this other novel, and then I had an idea for a short story, and it was due for this thing in like 2 days, and so I just like stream of consciousness wrote, and I had this premise in my mind, and it was in this bar, and it had a twist in it, and it ended up being the origin story for a ninja. And I was like, wait, what? And, she was clearly mixed Asian. She didn't have a name. And I've never written anything from my own heritage. I'm Chinese-Norwegian Hawaiian. And I've never done that before. Lily's not Hawaiian, and so I wrote this. And not only was it her origin story, I realized that it was probably going to be near the beginning of the first book in what could be a series. And,
Wow.
And that's what happened.
That's amazing. Like she just kind of like fell into your head.
Yeah, kind of fell in. Yeah.
It's like a gift from the writer gods.
Yeah.
And you have to honor that, right? Then you have to write
honor
it.
that. You gotta pay attention to these things, It's like, okay.
So you knew going in that it was going to be a series starring Lily. But did you like how does your brain like think through book 1 through you're on now book number 4, right? Like did you automatically have like kind of this is where the story is going, this is what's going to happen with her character, how she's going to develop and grow?
Well, I'm a plotter. So I knew, I laid out the first book. I knew what was going to go on. And it wasn't until I finished the first book that I started laying out the second. And I knew that the second one was also going to be in Los Angeles. The first one's in LA. And I knew the second was going to be in Los Angeles, and it was going to do a dive into the commercial sex trafficking of youth, because I was really interested in that. And, but more than that, I didn't know. All that came out of research. But I always knew that she would have to go to Hong Kong, and that it would have to involve family, because her mother's from Hong Kong and she's a big financier for the grandfather's financial company. And so I had a sense that that would be in the third book. And so I set that up. The grandparents came to visit in the second book, and I set up that thing. And so I knew she was going to the third, to Hong Kong. And before I even wrote the Hong Kong book, I had visited Shanghai, and I knew she had to come to Shanghai next. So I set that up in the third book with Li Chang coming to Shanghai. And so I knew that was all going to happen. But I never know the actual plot until I start researching. That's when it all comes.
That like blows my mind for a series. I mean, that seems so hard to me. I'm just thinking one book at a time. But you always have to be thinking a little bit ahead, right? Your characters and kind of where the story is going.
Yeah, I really do. I'm sitting here in the dark. It's so weird. Hold on one second. I'm pulling. The light has gone. This is so spooky. This is almost Halloween, right? I've got my phone here, with the thing. I'm pulling in all these lights, and now I feel like all spooky Halloweeny. Let me bring out that karambit again. Okay,
yeah, right. I'm safe. Dark and scary. Okay.
But anyway, yeah. The nice thing about a series is the characters. And I just keep building, and I love family. And so I just keep building family. And when it came to this fourth book, with the Ninja's Oath, I knew it was going to be Uncle's story, because Uncle is from Shanghai. And so I just started researching, and I got entranced with everything in the history of Shanghai, from the Japanese invasion through Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong and all the way up. And I built his lineage around that. And then out of those characters came this plot. And so it's a combination of knowing where I'm going and not really knowing it all until I research. But, I know everything about this story before I actually start writing, the words that count.
Yeah.
Or you too, Kimberly? Yeah, because
Water too.
these fly by the seat of your pants authors who don't even know who've done it. You people scare me. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm not in the dark though. I'm in the light.
Yeah, well, great. Thanks. See, if we had done this a couple hours earlier, my light would have been awesome.
I know, because it's setting. Wait until daylight savings starts. Then we're in the dark. I know.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about ninja arts and how you got started, and what is it about the practice that makes it so important to Lily's story and your story and all of that.
Yeah. Okay. I followed my son. I put him into karate when he was 5. And, I had been a professional dancer. I was in the original First National Company of Cats. And then
Right.
I danced on the Love Boat for a year as a Love Boat mermaid. And a bunch of other stuff.
That.
Yeah, I know, like crazy stuff, right? So I thought I had retired from that. And so I was one of those on the bench watching moms. And then one day I just couldn't stand it anymore. And of course the teacher knew my background. So he was like, "Do you know the first kata?" And I'm like, "Mm-hmm." He's like, "Oh, could you demonstrate that?" I'm like, "Sure." He's like, "Do you know the second kata?" I'm like, "Mm-hmm." He goes, "Could you demonstrate that for the class?" I'm like, "Sure." And then so the whole class became a, "What can Tori do?" And it was one, I kid you not, it was one of these classes that had me a white belt all the way up to this person who was almost going to test for black belt. So by the time the hour ended, I had done everything from jump spinning heel kicks against targets to sparring to all this kind of craziness. And I was hooked. And it was pretty, yeah.
The dancing must have helped, right? Because you have knowledge of how your body is moving, right? And choreography, all that, you're limber.
Yeah.
I imagine that was a big
Oh, it was huge. I call it a physical vocabulary. My physical vocabulary was enormous. So there was almost no movement that was new to my body. It was just a question of in what combination and to what purpose.
Right, putting it all together. And that's why you can describe it so well, I think.
Yeah. And then there's a whole esoteric element to the ninja arts because, it goes back to Tendai Buddhism and, all the priests who lived on top of the mountains and they had to protect, the village during, feudal Japan. And that's why so many of the weapons are, agricultural looking tools because, ninja were off the grid, basically. They had to protect themselves and they just became so good at it that they ended up getting hired by the daimyos of the feudal lords of Japan and that sort of thing. And I had been, meditating and involved in all of that since I was 12. So that was another thing that just synced up with me. Yeah.
It's like all these things came together and just kind of kismet, right?
So many things. And then the culture, so my father was Norwegian from North Dakota. My mother was Chinese-Hawaiian from Maui. They met and married in Tokyo where my sisters were born. So these cultures are very important. And I wanted to share that with Lily, not the trope of, I'm pulled in 2 different directions. I don't know who I am, but this, almost a celebration of, she honors both and they honor both in her. And it's like this really unique, wonderful cultural situation and complexity in her family that I really like to dive into.
Yeah.
Yeah, a commenter just said, "I'm really enjoying learning all this history about ninjas."
Oh,
yay! Yeah,
Love it.
really nice. Okay,
yeah, most people don't know, right? Now, a lot of people don't even know that it's an actual art. I mean, there were like 9 lineages that came down to one grandmaster and yada, yada. There's a lot of stuff. And I got to say that this book is the most ninja of them all. In this book, Lily finally finds out why her teacher left Japan. We finally get Sensei's story because I had 2 basic not objections. Objectives. I'm a writer. I can choose the right word. Objectives with this book. I wanted to write a standalone action thriller. So you can just pick this up and dive in. You're good.
You don't have to read the other ones. You can just start with this.
But I also wanted to bring the four book series because I mean, it could go on, but it's like a set. It all happens in about 4 months, and I wanted to tie it up in just the biggest, most explosive, ending. So of course we had to find out about Sensei J Tran, this incredibly sexy, what is he, Black, Asian, we don't know, just unnerving fascination toying with Lily. I had to bring him back. So, we got ninja, triad, assassin, all sorts of things, drug traffickers, fentanyl, Shanghai, Japan. It's crazy.
It's a lot. Yeah. One of the questions is this an action thriller, a family drama, or a mystery?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. All the books are like that.
Yeah.
In fact, that was like my goal, to make them equal parts, all the things that you just said, because that's what I love. And it's not something that I see. I mean, I can see a thriller that has, maybe, a romance, element, or it's got a little family element, or, it may have cultural characters or something like that. But I mean, I dive into the family, stuff as though it were some kind of family drama. I mean, it's weighted that much.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you got to follow the clues with the mystery. But at the same time, and I think this comes from having started out writing in screenplays, I got to keep the pace. It's got to just keep those pages turning.
Right. And how did you keep all that straight? Did you create a series Bible?
I didn't create a series Bible, but I do now, brace yourself, Kyra. I do chapter by chapter summaries.
Oh.
I know. I not only do outlines, and then, I get an idea and I get a premise and I go for hikes and I think it out, but then I divide it into 4 acts, just like I used to do when I was doing a screenplay. And I populate it with these chapters, or even if there are spaces, about how many I know are going to be there, so I can get an idea. Do I have enough?
Right.
Do I have enough in the middle? Do I have enough in the beginning? Do I have too much at the end? And then I just do little chapter by chapter summaries, so I know the objective, there we go again, of the chapter, what's going on, maybe a little bit about what's happening. It might just be a few sentences. I might get carried away and do several. So that's kind of what I do, but not a series Bible. I don't have that.
Yeah.
Right. Sounds kind of like a logical thing to do, but you must do that.
Although I have done a series Bible for, trying to sell it for television or film.
Yes.
You especially need that for TV. And my husband's a TV film producer, and he has the option to all of my books. And so, he's constantly doing that kind of a thing. So I've had to do series Bibles, and I've adapted things, IPs from other authors' novels into television series and screenplays. And so I've done Bibles for them. So I know what they are. I can do them, but I don't want to do them in advance.
Work to me. The series Bible is really also for the author, right? To figure out did that person have green eyes or blonde hair or whatever? So you just kind of keep a note of everything that happens in all the books and all the characters.
Yeah, I've got one of those character files in Scrivener. And so, as I've gotten going and added more characters, those files have gotten smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
But for Lily and all the main characters, they're pretty extensive.
Yeah.
So Valerie said, Kara, Tori is killing me with her method. Me too, Valerie, me too. Did you see me? I'm like, files of characters? Oh my gosh, stop. Okay, but that's very logical, and I'm glad you do that. I should learn how to do that someday myself. anyway.
Why?
Okay.
Why?
I don't know.
You're doing so well. Why would you want to? Keep doing what you're doing.
I just gotta be me. My file of characters look like this, like a piece of paper. Like when a new character pops in, I'm like, oh, I better write him down. Okay,
I
so
have
anyway,
journals too, where I'm just like scribbling things, and they're
Yeah.
not even in the same journal. So it's
Right.
like, where did that go?
That's good. I like that. That's a little disorganized. Okay, Kimberly.
Yes. It is time for the giveaway. Tori is giving away 1 copy of the Ninja's Oath plus a lucky coin and some tea to a lucky US viewer. All you have to do is, I had a video for this too. I don't know when to play it. Should I play it at the beginning or the end? It's too late now. We'll play it in a second. Here it comes. All you have to do to enter, we need Heather.
I know.
All you have to do to enter is answer this question about our guest, and we will choose a winner from all the correct answers around this time tomorrow night. Bonus points for joining the Killer Author Clubhouse Facebook group or subscribing to our YouTube channel. Here comes the video. Oh,
Yay, nice job.
so cute.
That's so fun.
So the question is, what color belt did Tori earn in, now I can't say it. Kara, how did you say it?
I said Toshindo.
No, Ninja Martial Arts.
Is that right?
Did we say it wrong?
No, you said it right, but
I
I'm
did.
thinking to myself, did you even mention that for people? I don't know.
We
Maybe you did.
We did.
And for those of you who may have missed it, after this is done, you can go back, rewatch that portion of the video, and then you know the answer, or you can just shout it out in the comments right now.
And then everybody will jump in.
Or you can go to my website, torieldridge.com. It's plastered everywhere.
There you go.
It is a great website. I'm just saying. I really enjoyed
Thanks.
it. Yeah, it's great. I mean, I learned so much about you just by hopping over there. So anyway,
I'm constantly updating it. It's like, oh, what else can I add? When I've got a reader's page, because I just love like book clubbish types of stuff. So I'm always putting up new recipes and martial arts videos. It's fun.
Impressive. I don't have any martial arts videos on mine, and I'm feeling kind of lame. So
And why would you?
I don't know, but I feel like I should have some action on mine, like, you know, like murder or something. I don't know. Anyway, okay, but it's a great website. So congratulations. Okay, so it's now time for our independent bookstore segment. We love independent bookstores, and we always ask our guests to select their favorite. So Tori selected Brahman's Books in Pasadena as her favorite indie. Can you tell us why that bookstore is so special to you, Tori?
Oh gosh, they're gorgeous. If you guys out there in audience land have ever been to Vroman's, you'll know. So if you come to LA, you really need to go to Pasadena. It's such a great neighborhood, and the store is so beautiful, and everybody is so wonderful. And then they ordered so many books, and I had such a fun time there, you know, and I signed everything and stamped them. I stamp everything. With my personal Ninja Warrior chop. I'm pretty sure this one is stamped as well. Yes, it is. Check it out.
See, is that great?
There you go. So that chop has the Toshindo Kasumian kanji, and somewhere in here is my personal warrior name given to me by the founders of our art, and it means it's Myotoshi, and it means warrior of the unfathomable blade. And so all my books, I sign them and I stamp with that chop.
Love it. Are you saying chop or chop?
Chop.
Okay.
Chop. Like
yeah.
That kind of chop.
So it's like the name for the stamp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm just trying to learn. Okay.
I know, so much stuff to learn. I mean,
there's so much stuff to learn.
Look at all this fun stuff you can learn.
Yeah.
You know, this is an urashuto, and this is urashuto and an omoteshuto, and you can use them to chop. There you go.
We got a lot to learn.
Now you've learned more.
I have learned more. I know. I love it. We could go on all night learning. We could go on.
No, we can't. I have to fix dinner at some point.
Okay.
People have to eat.
Okay, so everyone, stay tuned because Kimberly's got our celebrate.
Yes, we, as much as we would love to celebrate everyone, all the killer authors and their killer books. There are so many, and yet only 3 of us tonight, only 2. But we can't let this evening go by without celebrating a very special release. Ta-ta-ta-ta.
Ta-ta-ta.
Melissa Di Lorenzo and her book, Conviction, The Policeman, The Preacher's Daughter, The Convict. Good doesn't always triumph. Evil can be more than what it seems, and a few souls can't ever be redeemed. But sometimes in a complex world, the question is simple: who will come out on top? I will be dropping the link to that in the comments, so watch that if you want to pick up a copy. But congrats to Melinda on her release.
Yes. And okay, now it's time for our Killer Swag giveaway. Membership has its privileges. So every episode we choose a name from the Killer Author Clubhouse on Facebook. That's a private group they have to join. And somebody will win a piece of CAC swag, t-shirts, mugs, candles, where's my swag? You know, this kind of stuff. And tonight's winner is Jamie Leaf. I hope I'm saying that right, Leif. Please send one of the killers your address and we'll get some killer swag your way.
I love that thermos. I have one of those I used for my tea every morning.
Oh man, you should get a Killer Author Club.
I should.
Yeah.
I should. If only I knew, where to find something like that.
If you need
If
any
only.
mug,
If only.
right.
Yes. So, Tori, we have excellent news. You have survived the Killer Author Club. You did it. And we bestow upon you the I Survived badge. You can print it out, hang it on your wall, your really dark wall.
Really dark.
I know. I spent so much time making this ambiance so beautiful, and it looks so beautiful before the sunset, and now you cannot see any of it.
Well, you can print it out, maybe shine a light on it, and let everyone know that you survived.
Kyra is cracking me up.
I know,
She's
I'm
like,
sorry.
Stay away from me. Stay away from me.
I've got dogs approaching. I've got a baby dog asleep in this crate.
Oh.
I'm trying to keep all the other dogs. I've almost made it through an episode with that one dog barking. This is like, it's kind of groundbreaking.
It's the first time thing.
No, Tori. Shh. No, don't do it. Okay, you guys, it's time to stop it right now. Okay, so stop it. All right. And that does it for tonight's episode before somebody wakes up of the Killer Author Club. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, and thanks for Tori for not making the dog wake up. No, actually, we loved having you, and thanks for teaching us so much, actually. We'll be back on a special day and time with an extra special killer guest. Patricia Cornwell will be joining us on Monday, November 13th at 8 Eastern Time to talk about Unnatural Death, her newest Scarpetta novel. And then the very next day, so 2 days in a row on this, not next week, but the following week, Tuesday, November 14th, we'll be right back here at the usual time of 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific with the amazing Michelle Campbell to talk about The Intern. So for our full schedule, dates, times, past episodes, recipes, merch, surf to thekillerauthorclub.com and get yourself one of these. They're really cool. Tori likes them. And we'll see you soon. Thank you guys all for tuning in. And thank you, Tori. And you guys go get a copy of The Ninja's Oath. Have a good night.
Sure. Good night.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
I guess I'm a killer.